Well, hello. Thank you for joining us again. I pray that this is a blessing to you. I want to jump right into our lesson. We're supposed to be talking about today the acquisition of wisdom. I think what's so powerful about this particular part, too, it ties into, remember, I'm doing the actual expounding on the curriculum in regards to living a practical life of wisdom. And so that's the journey that I'm taking you on. And so we'll be 13 weeks. Hopefully we'll be done in 13 weeks. If not, we'll be going a little bit longer. But I want to take my time because I want to make sure that I do a rounded, a more balanced type of teaching in regards to wisdom, living your life practically, not only within your family, but within relationships as well, marriages and workplace and so on. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the acquisition of wisdom. And then tomorrow, hopefully I'll come back and talk about issues that keep us off balance in regards to our mouth and our behavior. Okay, so I'm just going to be sharing a little bit about the recipe for disaster in regards to our mouth and our anger, our frustrations. I'll be talking about that on J3. But here we go. We're going to jump right into this part. I want to start out just kind of giving an overview of chapter 2, and then those leading men that's going to come and share with you their commentaries in regards to each chapter beginning the fourth day. I'm going to be ending my commentary on the third day after I give mine on these chapters, and then I'm going to get into the lesson. And so today I'm talking about chapter 2. Now look, on Proverbs, I love the first chapter's verse that says, "My son, if thou would receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine," it says, "so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding." A lot of us have a lot of head knowledge, but we don't have an understanding on how to apply that. That's like almost getting people over and over again how to put the cake together, but they really, they can stand there and learn how to mix it, but they really are not doing it themselves. That's the practical part of it. We want to make sure that you get your hands on, that you actually put your feet to the actual purpose of what you have learned. And so today in this text, I think what stood out to me is the whole chapter. It's so profound because it's trying to get us to move away from those things that are unrighteous and to prepare us to make sure that we get in a place to continuously to be broken, to make sure that we can discern evil, that we can discern those things that's causing us to be late or to be out of the way or will of God. So important. And so today, I want to kind of go over these scriptures to make sure that we kind of look at them. It says, "Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and lifted up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures." You've got to keep spending time to practically get in the presence of God. Pray. We want to always just do our on the road pray. How they say, just give God a little bit of crumb here, a little crumb there, because your schedule is so big. But I'm telling you right now, we got to learn how to slice our time so we don't give Daddy just crumbs. He wants to be. I was so tired yesterday. I was like, oh God, I'm just so tired. I have done so much, and I repent for that. And now I'm looking like I'm going to be coming in, just trying to hurry up and throw you something. And then I heard the Spirit of the Lord speak in my spirit. No, come, daughter, come. And I want to talk to you. I want to strengthen you. And so when I went there, I was like, God, so I got my Lord's Supper out and everything and began to prepare, put my prayer shawl on and just said, Lord, just strengthen me. I have done more than I should have today. I need a refreshing. Talk to me about some things that I need to do. And as I began to pray, I got up and I went and I looked out the window. I opened my door and looked out to heaven. And I began to look at how the clouds and how everything, not the clouds, but how to look at everything that was really, really touching my heart in regards to how God wants to talk to us in time, where we are, what we're doing, what we're saying. And I think it's important that we look at how our voices are coming out. How are we speaking? What are we speaking? Life or death of our lives? Are you really going to believe God for the situations that's at hand right now? Or are you going to be complaining? Are you going to be steady saying the same thing over and over again? But oh God. But when I got in His presence, When I got in his presence, I felt a strength come. I felt an awakening come. When I was standing there looking out and saw the moon and saw the sky and saw how blessed I was, I went, God, my God, forgive me for complaining. Forgive me for, being just overexerted, that I get here now and that I feel just like I'm handing you a little something. And so when I sit there, I begin to worship, and then all of a sudden I felt the glory of God. I felt that it was time for me to recognize that I need to incline my ears. I need to listen to what he is saying to me about ordering my day. That I make sure that the day don't order me, I order it. I know I'm talking to you. And so I begin to say, God, help me. And it says that if thou seekest her, guess what? It searches for her as for hid treasures. Then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find that knowledge of God. For the Lord giveth wisdom out of his mouth, and come to knowledge and understanding. Guess why? Because when I got with him, I got to understand that when I took the Lord's Supper, when I began to rest in him, when I began to realize what I had done, I repented for those things. And I said, God, help me that I may not let anything else put me in this place, that it's too much, too many conversations, too many things, that I need to learn how to shut it all down and be prepared to meet you. Be prepared to be filled, to be empowered, to be strengthened in you. I know I'm talking to you. So I went on to begin to rest in him and just sit there. And before you know it, I had to get myself to come down enough to go to bed. So by that time, I think it was maybe like almost 3 or 4 in the morning before my body was really rested down to go to sleep, because I wanted to make sure that I was in this place to hear him. And verse 7 says, he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walketh uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of the saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity. So important to understand. That means every good path, everything that he needs to give to you, that you need to get a supply of whatever need, whatever the thing is that you need, is already all right. Verse 10, when wisdom entereth into thine heart, there it is, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, there it is. Here is the key thing. We have to have discretion. My God, we need to have discretion on everything. Discretion means that we're looking critically at a thing. We're looking critically at the situation. We're looking with the eyes of the Spirit, not of our flesh desires, not of the things that we need to get done or what we think they need to be now. We need to be looking with discretion. We need to be looking with circumspective, walking and trying to see how God will help us to handle a matter. So discretion, verse 11 says, discretion shall preserve thee. It'll give you understanding. It shall keep thee. Verse 12 says, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that seeketh froward things. That main man is many times of ourselves. We're thinking about what we need to do, what we need to say, and we're pulling ourselves down, that we have made too many mistakes to get in his presence, and we are too tired, and we are hearing what others are saying, the haters and the fakers, and we got all of this thing that's coming at our head that we cannot hear God to get sound wisdom about what he's trying to tell us right now. That means push back hell and open heaven and sit down and talk to you. I know I'm talking to you. Then he went on to say in verse 13, who lead the path of rightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, and they do. Who rejoice to do evil, yes they do, and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they forward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman. Yeah, that woman that's desperate that we're talking about, even from the stranger which flatters with her words. That means not only a woman, but the man that flatters with her words, flatter with his word. And so which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take thy hold of the paths of life. Neither they take hold of the paths of life. They couldn't possibly in deceptive relationship. 20, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright shall, not might, shall dwell in the land. And the perfect, that means the blameless, that person who has given their whole life to the Lord and sacrificed it, meaning I'm sacrificing my day and my time. I can't get with you. I can't talk right now. I have got to get in the presence of Daddy, because I got some things that I got to get straightened before I try to do it in my flesh and do it in my strength and do it in my weakness. I got to remain ready. Yes, God. Perfectly, blameless, broken, shall, that's right, remain in it. That righteousness. Verse 22, but the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. You got to believe it. Let me get off here to give you my practical lesson about the acquisition of wisdom. You know, what this ultimately comes down to is that we have voices and we have behaviors coming every which way. But you got to know that the acquisition of wisdom is very important in this time that we're in. We're in a very critical time. And I know that you listen to me, and you've heard deaths across the globe. We've heard all type of, electronical intelligences and every type of demonic force that we can think of that's going forth, that's trying to rob us of our peace and our privacy and everything else. So the devil is crazy, stupid, and a loser. The acquisition of wisdom, we must do three things to gain this type of wisdom. And this could be called what I call the AAA process of gaining wisdom. Okay. That means now you letting the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost get you prepared. So number one, I hope you're writing it down. You want to acquire the reverence for God. So why should we do this in Dr. Murphy? Well, according to Proverbs 9 and 10, it tells us that the fear of the Lord, is the beginning of wisdom. And so if the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, don't you want to get before God and get broken so he can keep pouring into you, so you can make some sound decisions, so you won't keep thinking that's your husband, so you won't keep thinking that's your wife, so you won't keep thinking that you're supposed to be doing this ministry or doing this thing. You need to get before God before you make any decision. That's what that discretion is about. You want to make sure that you have analyzed it strategically to know that you heard flesh. I know I'm talking to you. Not that you want to look like you're doing something just because you are a minister. You want to make sure it is God telling you, I want you to do this. Guess why? Because when he writes that spiritual directive that I call a check, he's big enough, he's bold enough, and he is certainly supernatural enough to work it through you. I know I don't want to preach to you, but the Hebrew word translated fear, and that's what many of us have operated out of for decades. Fear is yara, and that's yira, or yirawe, or Yaira, okay? We want to think about it because it means reverence. And reverence, this word reverence means an attitude of deep respect. So when you respect someone, that means you're regarding them. You're taking time with them. You're hearing them. I get a lot of disrespect. People disregard me a lot because they say I talk too much. I'm tired of hearing her message. But what it is that you have no business with God. The business that you do have, you don't obey God out of fear. It was something, but you're fearing the wrong thing. You need to reverence and fear God. So when we respect something or we respect someone, we don't disregard them. We respect the people. We value their advice. We take them very seriously. And so God holds us accountable when we disregard, when we disrespect those that he's trying to give a word to you. This is the reason why many of us are in the shape we are in now, because we would not listen to the sound counsel or the word of the prophet. We push it back, and then now we want to go and click on every network to try to see what's prophetically speaking now, who can speak to me now about the shape I'm in, about what I need to be doing. And you get a lot of fear tactics, a lot of fear messages, a lot of hype messages for the hungry and the desperate because they refuse to hear the sound counsel that Daddy already sent to you. I don't want to preach. And so it is. The beginning of wisdom is taking God and his word seriously, that you are hearing God, that you're obeying God. And so you need to ask God. That means, number two, you must get before God and talk to him. Yes, you can. And if you don't ask him for any wisdom, you're not going to get it. So number two, you need to ask God, okay? The only real source of wisdom is God. The Bible tells us, for the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge, not just knowledge, it comes understanding. This is why a whole lot of us are getting a lot of head knowledge, and you're not getting no understanding, because a whole lot of it is just a whole bunch of prophetic lies of things that people want to say to sound super spiritual, so you're not getting an understanding. Proverbs 2 and 6 tells us this. It's out of the mouth of God. It's out of the heartbeat of God. It's out of the fruit of the Spirit. So the problem isn't that the Lord doesn't want to give us wisdom. The problem is that we don't ask. Every night I'm asking. Every day I'm walking. I'm saying, God, I need wisdom. I need discretion. I need to walk circumspectly. I need angels to be charged even now. So then I start to charge my personal angels. I start to send Michael on assignment on behalf of my children, my grandbabies. I am walking in wisdom and prayer, saying, thy kingdom come, and I want your will to be done. So how is this acquisition of wisdom explained in James 1 and 5? Let's look at that. Well, it says, if I lack wisdom, I should ask God for it, right? So the verb translated ask is present tense, which means continuous action. This is not a one-time request, through which we just gain this wisdom for a lifetime. Rather, it means that we ask God for this wisdom before every decision, before every move we make. That means now you know that you're using discretion. You're using the godly sound wisdom that you heard what God said, and it was not a fear. It was not a time. This means I got to get this done now. I need to hurry up. It's God telling you, go left, go right, go to Walmart. No, don't go to CVS. Go to Walmart. Go to Walgreens. So if we constantly ask God for wisdom, we will avoid many mistakes. We will avoid much pain. We will avoid much grief. But this AAA process for this acquisition of wisdom, it is to require reverence for God, ask God, and then finally we want to look at how to apply God's word. Okay, so wisdom isn't just reading the truths and hearing people like myself across the networks about what the truth is. In the book of Proverbs, it is showing us how we can remember to put them into practice. Yes, God, so we can live it practically. So how does Proverbs 17:24 describe this principle? Where it says, if I am smart, I will keep my eyes focused on wisdom. But if I am foolish, I will look for it everywhere else except in the right place, and that is in the position in his presence. I don't want to preach. I know I'm talking to you. So we'll go everywhere else, like I said, but we won't get before God to hear God for ourselves. He's speaking. Yes, he is. I don't care if you have no fivefold title. He is still speaking. He tell you, don't say that no more. Don't talk. Don't do that. Don't go there. He's talking to you because you say he lives in you. He's talking to you. He's ministering to you every breath you take. But we, as a fallen people in a fallen world, we decide to let our flesh be gratified. We decide to make what we want that feels comfortable, or we feel that needs to be in our time. So we want to say and do what we want to do. I don't want to preach. I'm trying to slow it down. This is one part of the subject, the lesson that really drives me. So we got to ask God. I know my words seen people who won't just not only ask, they won't even apply it. They won't even put into practice what they do know. We got some sound teachers, but yet they talk it, but they ain't walking it. Isn't that something? So we look at the intelligent people who really, really are seeking God. Why? Because you could see that in their lives, because they know how to regimen their lives. They know how to cut things out to make sure that time before God is there. So intelligent people who are wisely walking through the eyes of God, they fix their wisdom on God. Wisdom is going to cost you that. The Bible tells us, but the eyes of a fool are what? In the ends of the earth. So they never find wisdom. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be looking everywhere and about everything that's going to look super spiritual or something that you think you need to get right now. God is timely. He's sovereign. He already knew what you're going to get up with before you got up with it. He already knows what you're going to lay down before you lay down with it. He already knows what you're going to do before you do it. So we need to keep our eyes fixed on wisdom. We must remain focused. We need to make sure that not only are we reading the word, but we're practically doing wisdom through what he's saying to us in his word. That means we need to contain what he's saying, contain the wisdom of God. This requires personal Bible study. It requires us faithfully attending worship services where God has planted you at, to remain faithful and to remain planted and to get with those people, not because they might not be teaching what you want to hear, but God may be trying to break you and shape you in a place that you need right now. So get planted somewhere. Stay planted. Because right now, you better be planted somewhere or you will be uprooted somewhere too. You need to make sure that God is getting you planted for the times that we're in so that you can be ready for when he comes. That means go to these Bible studies that are online that God is sending you to make sure that you get planted by the one who's feeding to you, not every word that's going across. You need to get to that person that God has assigned you to. And then becoming wise requires understanding, okay? That means the meaning of wisdom. That means the benefits of wisdom. I've given you, talk about that earlier on, and now I'm talking about the acquisition of wisdom. And I want to make sure that as you begin to look at these three different places, God is going to equip you. He's going to inspire you. He's going to get you to begin to learn that the beginning of that wisdom is going to require you to make sure that those paths that you take are all going to be first and foremost to make sure that you're in his presence. So that fear of the Lord, that means the fear and the reverence of God, is with you, that you want everything he has and that you will obey everything he's saying to you, that all of your paths will be peaceful because why? You feel that this perfect gift that he's given all of us, if we really search it out, it's going to give you what you need. It's going to prepare you for every task in every situation. Because why? You're searching, you're thirsty, you're chasing after wisdom that you may give him glory in all that he's calling you to do. So if you lack wisdom, remember, James 1 and 5 said, if you ask, guess what? He's going to give it to you. And he's not going to limit us. He said, the more that you seek, the more you find me. God bless you. I'll look forward to talking to you on tomorrow. I've got to talk to you about the recipe for disaster that many of us are going through right now because our mouths are too big and swollen, and a lot of puffed up stuff, and too much aggression, and too much violent behavior, too much violent responses. And we got to look at the strife and the unforgiveness that's really settled, that's causing many of us to foul. And we cannot walk wise, and we cannot make wise decisions. And so many houses are being destroyed because of that. And not only the family house, but even the church house as a leader. Love you so much. We'll talk soon.